I have been busy planning Story of the World history for next year, and it occurred to me that I could do a plan with me as I was working on it. So I'm going to do that today. I did not plan this video out though, so we'll see how it goes. We are starting the cycle over. We just finished the cycle the first time. We spent 3 years on books 3 and 4, so I could intersperse more American history with it. So next year we're splitting off, and Elizabeth will do her own history, and the boys and I will start again. I am planning this time to do just a 4-year cycle. Well, because of the ages of my boys, I think that's how it's going to work out. So here's the activity guide. This is what book 1 looks like. One of the first things I do is go through and, with just these little post-it flags, mark down the activities that look good. We do not do a lot of activities, as you can see, because I'm not sure where any more flags are. They're set back there. So, yeah, we don't do a lot, but I try to do, my goal is to do one at least every 2 or 3 chapters. This one has 2 because this one is a recipe. And those I don't really count as an activity. Anything that, when I'm doing this, will have materials that I know I need to buy or locate, then I keep a running list just in my binder and write it down as I go. Now, I will also say that my planning has changed. I do it differently. The first time I did this one, the planning I used, actually I really liked, but I took a note, like just a regular index card, and for every chapter, I would put the chapter title, and then I would list any books that I wanted to do with it, and then on the back, I would list any activities that we were going to do and any materials that I need for it. And then I put it in my binder in like a picture holders, so there were 4 to a page. So at any time I could look at this, what was coming and see what I would need to get from the library or from the grocery store. And it worked really well for me then. I don't know. Mostly I didn't stick with it because I change things up all the time, to be honest. Now, I will also say that this year I am using Biblioplan to go with it. And Biblioplan includes an extra text that they have written, the publisher of it has written, and it gives just more information about the time period, the way it is. But the way they have used it with story, they give several different spine options, and so then they find the part of the spine that goes with each of their text sections. So some of the chapters are out of order, or they'll have part of one section of the book and then another section of the book, a few weeks later. So after I did that with the flags, I printed everything off that I was going to need, and I've gone through, highlighted the chapter for the text, what the history focus is, so that way as I'm looking at other books and such, I can see what else is being covered. And then I highlighted the chapter for Story of the World. And then, I haven't entirely done all this yet, but as you can see, I'm starting to mark down the things down here that I might do along with it. They give different writing ideas, and then other books and activities to do, movies to go along with it. And then I've also added the activities that I'm going to do, so that as I'm looking at this, I know what's coming up in case I don't do it out of here, since this is going to be my main planning guide. In the Biblioplan, they also give scheduled book lists. This one is for the entire year, and they have it broken down by unit. So they also have book lists for each section that gives more information about when you would use it, little summaries, that type of thing. They have, these are broken down by K-2 readers and then 3 to 5 readers. And then the optional resources of movies, hands-on stuff, audio. I've started going through and marking down the books that they suggest that I would like to do. My next step has been to start looking through my library and looking for the books. I have a video about how I use these lists, so if you never use the list system in your library's website, I'll link that video. It's a real short video, just a couple minutes. I have not finished with that step, but I'm ready to move on because this is how I plan. I skip around a lot, which is not very efficient, but it's what I do. I'm going to hit Netflix now to look for some documentaries for the boys. And I'm going to switch you over to do a screen grab so you can see me better, and I can type. So I'm just going to start with a general ancient look. Ancient Aliens. My boys would probably love that one. I've already put a few on. You can see that I've already put the Sphinx on there. When I'm not sure about one, I go ahead and mark it down, and then I'll look it up and watch some stuff later to see if it will work for us or not. I also like to include things that are more sciencey, like the wild China, because my boys really enjoy wildlife, so it's a nice way to tie in some science and geography along with our history. Lindsay Lohan has a documentary about India. I think we'll skip that one. And so I'll just continue searching for different topics of things that I know that we're going to hit. Silk Road, Pharaoh. I like to have a nice list and variety available so that the times when I just need to have them switch and go do something, there's a lot of things that they can choose from. I keep a separate profile on Netflix for all school things so that on the days when I just need to tell the boys, just go find something to watch on Netflix for history, and they can do that. If a plan has changed or if I need to switch and take care of something or help Elizabeth unexpectedly, then I can do that, and I know that what they're going to be able to choose from are things that I've already pre-screened and decided that they will fit for our history or our science. I'm going to hop over to PBS's website now. We are public media supporters, and so we have the Passport, which is that little blue thing with the directional star that you see, which means we have access to more shows than what everyone else has available. Just like I'm going to do on Netflix, I'm just going to search for different topics, evaluate things, put it in my watch list. They have a watch list much like Netflix's, Amazon's. You can access it from their website as well as their apps on like iTunes or Roku. Nova has a really good site too, often with lesson plans and such, so it's a great idea to check there. I'm going to copy the address for some of the things I'm going to put on there and put it into my OneNote. That way I have it for the things I specifically want to. Some of the other ones will be shows that we just watch when we can, but not necessarily assigned time to it. Sometimes I like to include PBS NewsHour shows as well as also like NPR and such. They're very family friendly, and when I can find a clip that goes along with our history or our science, I love to be able to pull it in. Now I'm going to switch over back to the screen and shop for some books on Amazon. I'm going to go through the book list that Biblioplan provided. There are several books that I've already marked, so we'll go through those first and then check out a few of the other ones they mentioned, especially videos and audio. On the screen, you will see over on the right a little extension that I added. It's a Google Chrome one, and I will link it below. I talked about it in my May favorites video, I think it was. When you're on Amazon or Goodreads, I love this extension. It will check your libraries. You have to input your libraries and tell if you want books, ebooks, or both, and it will scan and see if that is something they have available for you. And they'll even show you if it's available or if you'll need to place a hold on it. It's fantastic. I'm going to start off with the You Wouldn't Want to Be. My boys love these, and they have a lot of good information in them. You can see it's searching for it. If you click on the borrow sign, it'll open up into your library, and you can take care of it from there. As you can see, adding the extension is pretty easy. My only complaint is that I can't do the whole state to be able to search for interlibrary loans. And I'm just going to continue working through my reading lists. We check out most of our books from the library, but occasionally I like to buy them. When I do, I always check Amazon's used section first. Sometimes it works out to be a better deal to buy it new, but sometimes you can get a good price for a new or good condition, and it might be, just a fraction of the price. Isn't this dress adorable? I don't think it would look good on me, but I keep it in my cart because I want it. I'm going to hit Rainbow Resource next. Like I said, we don't buy a lot of books, so it's going to be kind of hit or miss, but I like to get ideas from here. We have that Ancient Egypt tube in a little sandbox. My boys love it. We have it from the first time we went through Story of the World. Rainbow Resource doesn't have as good of previews, I don't think, and definitely not as good of reviews as Amazon, but I like that you can find other things besides just the books. We don't have a lot of wall space, so doing something like timelines, as much as I like them, I just don't have a lot of space for them. I'd also really love to get some kits to go along with our history this year, but I hate spending money on things that don't really have much educational value in them. And then things like painting, some plaster thing they give us is not something my boys would enjoy. So, not much luck on Rainbow Resource either. I love shopping there, but I hate searching their site. They don't have a good search engine, and they don't have the filters that I would find useful. So at this point, I kind of think that I'm set on projects. I think I'm set on documentaries, but and books, I think I will be set. I need to, continue going through the book part, and supplementary books, probably the thing that takes the longest for me, and I don't want to say I dread it, but it's just hard for me to sort through it all. But that's why I do it all in the summer, because if I leave it to the fall or during the school year to do it, it's not going to happen. I know that from past experience, so that once the school year starts, I'm more apt to stay on top of it and to do all that. Otherwise, I tend to just do the text, which is fine. That's a perfectly acceptable way, especially at my boys' ages. But having all the other parts there help me to make sure that I do a little more. Now, the one last place that I'm going to stop is Pepper and Pine's channel. Actually, I'm going to check her blog, because if I go to her YouTube channel, then I'm going to get distracted by YouTube, because she does a lot of projects. She's very Waldorf inspired, and so she does a lot of projects with the kids and a lot of hands-on learning, kind of round out what I'm looking for. At some point, I will check the rest of YouTube as well, but I know that she's a reliable source, so I'm going to go there. Oh, look, she's got a Ancient Egypt book review video. Oh, it was just posted, so that will be something I will watch. How to mummify an apple. This is Story of the World has you mummify a chicken, but honestly, I don't want to go through that. So doing it with an apple may be a fun way to do that. She must have just done an ancient... Oh wait, no, these are a year ago. 2016. It looks like she has a whole series of ancient things. She does these amazing chalk drawings in our classroom. Even if we had a chalkboard, I'd never be able to recreate them, but they're fantastic. Oh, and a couple recipes. Oh, here's that dig kit that I looked at. So we'll have to see what she liked it or not. I'm going to watch these videos and add anything to my notes that I decide to take from there. And that's kind of how I plan and shop for history. Hope you enjoyed it. I have a history playlist, so be sure to go check that out. I will link that. I will also have the links for the other videos I mentioned down below. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.